Are you cold? I don't know if you'd be particularly interested with hearing anything about me. My life, that is. It doesn't really amount to much. That is, any way of life that you'd approve of. I move around a lot. Not that I'm looking for anything. Really. Because I'm getting away from the things that get bad if I stay. Auspicious beginnings. You know what I mean? I'm trying to imagine your half of this conversation. Although, my feeling is, even if you could talk, we wouldn't be talking. That's pretty much how it got before I left. Are you alright? I don't know what to say.
Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. A prison you cannot smell, taste, or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, you cannot be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no going back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and you believe what you want to believe. You take the red pill. And you stay in Wonderland. And I'll show you how deep this rabbit hole goes. Remember, I'm only offering the truth. Nothing more.
My desert island top 5 most memorable breakups of all time are as follows. Allison Ashmore, Penny Hardwick, Jackie Nicholson, Charlie Alden, and Jessica Cranshaw. Those were the ones that really hurt. Do you see your name on that list, Laura? No, maybe you hurt me enough to be and sneak into the top 10, but not good enough to be in the top 5. Sorry. Those are reserved for the breakups that really hurt. The breakups that you're just not capable of delivering. If you wanted to hurt me, you should have got to me sooner. Which leads me to number 1, Ashlyn Ashmore. I dated Ashlyn Ashmore for 6 hours, which consisted of 3 days of hanging out before the Rockerford Files. We hung out for 2 hours, for only 3 days. Yeah.
Nick Dunn took my pride, my dignity, and my hope and my money. He took from me and took until I no longer existed. That's murder. Let the punishment fit the crime. To fake a convincing murder, you have to have discipline. You befriend a local idiot. Harvest the details of her humdrum life. And cram her with stories of your husband's violent temper. Secretly create money troubles, credit cards, perhaps maybe gambling, online gambling, with the help of the unwitting, bump up your life insurance, purchase a getaway car, Craigslist, generic, cheap, pay cash. You need to package yourself so that people will mourn for your loss. And America loves pregnant women.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye, and I never heard from you again. You want to know how I'm doing? I fought in the war. Finn's dead. That's how I'm doing. My dad sold his house, and we sunk every penny the both of us ever had into buying this place and fixing it up. And we did. We built this place with our bare hands, me hoping in some crazy way it would bring you back. But it didn't. And now, Dad's dead too. That's how I'm doing. And still, even now, after all this time, when I hear a car pull up the driveway or somebody says my name or a letter comes or the phone rings, I get excited because I think maybe, just maybe, it might be you.
Since when are you the quitting kind? So you didn't make the dress list. There are greater tragedies in the world. Oh, you are so full of crap. You're 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and you hardly got a speck of athletic ability. And you hung in with the best college football team in the land for 2 years, and you're gonna walk out of here with a degree from the University of Notre Dame. In this lifetime, you ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody, except yourself. And after everything that you've gone through, if you haven't done that, you ain't ever will.
This is very fascinating. What's going on at this table? Let's take you and Erica. You've been around the block a few times. What are you, around 60, 63? Fantastic. Never married, which as we know, if you're a woman, would be a curse. You're an old maid, a spinster, blah, blah, blah. So instead of pitying you, they write an article about you, celebrating your never marrying. You're elusive and ungettable, a real catch. Then, there's my gorgeous sister. Look at her, she's so accomplished. Most successful female playwright since who? Lillian Hellman. She's over 50, divorced, and she sits in night after night after night because available guys her age want something. Forgive me. They want somebody that looks like Medine.
I'm 32, Mr. Dunn, and I'm here celebrating another year spent scraping dishes and waitressing, something I've been doing since 13. And according to you, I'll be 37 before I can throw a decent punch. And I'll admit, after going at this speed bag for a month, may be God's simple truth. Another truth? My brother's in prison. My sister cheats on welfare by pretending her baby's still alive. My daddy's dead, and my mom weighs 312 pounds. That enough truth for you?
Sonny and my father always said that when I get older, I would understand. Well, I finally did. I learned something from these two men. I learned to give love and get love unconditionally. You just have to accept people for what they are. And I learned the greatest gift of all. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And the choices that you make will shape your life forever. But you can ask anybody from my neighborhood, and they'll just tell you this is just another Bronx tale.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all of its forms, greed for love, greed for money, for knowledge, has marked the upward surge of mankind. And you mark my words, greed will not only save Teldar Paper Company, but will also save that malfunctioning corporation known as the USA. Thank you very much.
I think if you want your clients to sit on my shoulders and call themselves tall, they have the right to give it a try. But there's no requirement that I have to enjoy sitting here, listening to people lie. You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount. The rest of my attention is back in the offices of Facebook, where my colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing. Did I adequately answer your condescending question?
So if there is that perfect person out there for everybody, why wouldn't you wait for the right moment to tell them how you feel? And if the two of you are meant to be, that moment will come, and I think it has. Tonight. And I know if I tried to tell Amanda all this in person, none of it would come out right. I tend to be better when I can write things down. So this is what I've been wanting to tell her for the past 4 years. About how my heart stops every time I see her. And how her smile is one of the best things in this world, you know?
So, I guess this is where I tell you what I've learned. My conclusion, right? My conclusion is hate is baggage. Life's too short to be pissed off all the time. It's just not worth it. Derek says it's always good to end a paper with a quote. He also says someone else said it best. So if you can't top it, steal from them and go out strong. So I picked the guy I thought you like. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic chords of memory will swell when we touch again, as surely they will be by the better angels of our nature.
The question is, do I have a God complex? So I ask you, when someone goes into that chapel and they fall on their knees and they pray that their wife doesn't miscarry, or that their daughter doesn't bleed out, or that their mother doesn't suffer neural trauma from post-operative shock, who do you think they're praying to? Now, you read your Bible, Dennis, and you go to your church, and with any luck, you might win the annual raffle. But if you're looking for God, he was in operating room 2 on November 17th, and he doesn't like to be second-guessed.
I always wanted to be in the movies. When I was little, I thought for sure one day I could be a big, big star. Or maybe just beautiful and rich like women on TV. Yeah, I had a lot of dreams. And I guess you could call me a real romantic. Because I truly believed one day they would come true. So I dreamed about it for hours. As the years went by, I learned to stop sharing this with people. They said I was dreaming, but back then I believed it wholeheartedly. So whenever I was down, I would just escape into my mind, to my other life, where I was someone else.
I always believed it was the things that you don't choose that make you who you are. Your city, your neighborhood, your family. People here take pride in those things, like it's something they've accomplished. The bodies around their cities, it's filled with them. I've lived on this block my whole life. Most of the people here have. But when your job is to find people who are missing, it helps to know where they started. I find people who are in the cracks and then fall through. The city can be hard.